It's wonderful, my love.
Yes, it is.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Homewrecker podcast. I am the moody Greek, Alex Arion, joined as always by my beautiful love. Did I say moody?
Yes. The grumpy Greek?
Grumpy Greek. My beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, the lovely Monique. Monique, how you doing?
Hi, I am well.
That's great.
How are you?
Moody, apparently.
Yeah.
Unprofessional.
My mom commented how one of the past episodes you were kind of grumpy.
I'm always grumpy.
That's not true.
I'm moody or something.
You're the grumpy Greek?
The grumpy Greek.
Aw, no.
I'm not golden anymore, I'm grumpy.
Aw, grumpy
Getting
woman.
grumpy in my old age. my elder years.
What?
I'm joking, obviously.
I know.
I'm obviously kidding.
What's going on with you?
Nothing.
No?
No, it's the new year. 2021. Same as 2020. Every day I wake up, I'm grateful I'm alive.
Yeah.
What an interesting time to be alive.
Yes.
Yes.
I think every time is interesting.
I guess. It's all perspective to say anything else.
You know me. I always find the bright side.
Yes.
We have our wine again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's going to think, oh, these alcoholics. All they do is drink wine now.
No.
This is how I cope now.
No. It's the kids are sleeping and it's yummy. And we don't have a lot for our watchers. It's not.
Our watchers.
Yeah.
I don't even know what is this, like a...
2 ounces maybe?
I don't know.
2, 3 ounces?
Sure. Like, not a lot. Let's put it that way.
Not a lot.
This little tiny amount will be, we'll take probably about an hour.
We'll be sleeping good tonight.
It'll probably take about an hour to go through this little tiny, what most people would consider a tiny amount.
I think we did pretty well with the last episode, the Big Fat Greek episode that we did.
Yeah. Yeah, so is this going to become like a normal part of our podcast now? You're going to pour a glass of red wine for us?
I just thought let's have some wine.
I guess it can, alcohol tends to lower, what is it? Like, it's good for conversation. Some people say.
So we talked about how it slows things down.
Yeah, it's more of I definitely don't feel like I communicate as clearly, I guess, when I have a little bit of spirits in me, as they say. The wine and spirits. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm just moody or grumpy.
So have a glass of wine, because alcohol always makes that better.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm such an angry person all the time.
I was joking. I was being funny.
I
was trying to be funny.
I'm sure you've met people that get angry when they get drunk or inebriated. Especially myself in my younger years, I knew a lot of people that were like that. I can honestly say that was never me. I never was an angry drinker or angry drunk when I was younger. Or at all, I should say.
Yeah, I'm a happy drinker. So I'm happy now, and I love everyone. And then once I start drinking, I love everyone even harder. It's like...
I love everyone even harder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's interesting because you mentioned being younger. When I was younger, when I drank, I was like, love fest, I love you. And my brother and I would go out drinking and we would sing. There's a song by Real Big Fish called Beer. And it's if I get drunk, I'll pass out on the floor now, baby. You won't bother me no more. I think I'll have myself a beer. So but it's really fun to sing. So my brother and I would put our arms around each other and sing that all the time. And it was great, wonderful memories. But
all right.
I'm really happy. But I remember if shit went down, I'd be drop of the hat, ready to fight. It was like a switch turned. And it was I'm sober now and I'm going to go kick some ass. But that didn't happen often.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've never been in a bar fight, I don't think, that I can recall. No.
I have.
No. Never my thing. I never hung out with a crowd that liked to cause trouble or get into any kind of trouble like that.
I wasn't a troublemaker, but if trouble comes our way, we're not going to back
Well,
down.
obviously, yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't have any real super exciting stories of bar shenanigans other than just having a lot of alcohol.
I'm not talking about necessarily at bars either, at like somebody's house, or like
right.
we go out in the woods and drink.
You'd go out in the woods and drink?
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, my brother and I,
How old were you?
I am not going to disclose that information.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But our friend we go to pit parties. So our friend had in his, like, where he lived, there were woods. So we'd go out into the woods and we had a pit where we'd start a fire and we just have a fire.
You'd start a fire in the woods?
Yeah.
I take it that there was
It was a pit.
Okay.
So, like,
it was, like, designed for that.
It was made so we could have, like, a little fire.
I just envision young kids, teenagers, I'm presuming now, since you're not going to say how old you were, and you're all going out in the woods drinking, and in the woods starting a fire. I'm just making sure that it's, you guys took the proper precautions.
Yeah,
that's all.
We're not idiots.
Obviously, you did.
But yeah, so we'd just be out in the woods drinking, but if we heard, like, somebody that we didn't like might be showing up trying to start something, just saying.
Okay. Yeah, I never went drinking in the woods.
Yeah, where I grew up, that was kind of what we did.
I had woods where I grew up too, but I never went drinking out in there. That's all.
Yeah, it was fun. Good memories.
All right. Do you remember Zima?
Oh my God, yes, I remember Zima.
You remember Zima?
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about my memories with Zima.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave that for off the air.
My parents are listening.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nope, I remember Zima because I want to say, like, by the time I was in a freshman in high school, I think it was kind of fizzling out.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that only stopped being a thing only a couple of years ago. Has it been a long time since that's been gone?
I think so.
Okay. And what was Zima exactly? Was it a wine cooler or was it a type of beer?
It was clear.
I know it was clear. I remember it being clear. I had it a couple of times. I just can't remember what you could classify it as.
I don't even know.
Anyhow.
It was alcohol.
Yeah.
Not really great alcohol, but hey.
It wasn't great, but it was
It kind of, remember Pepsi Clear?
Yes, Pepsi Clear.
So it was like, I always equated it to the alcoholic version of Pepsi Clear.
I almost spit taking a while. Pepsi Clear. I remember the Pepsi Clear. Yeah, good stuff.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You didn't mean to.
It's alright. You know when something goes down the wrong pipe?
Yes.
You try that with wine.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the show before, but I took a sip of Coke and my friend made me laugh and it came out my nose and that burned.
Oh.
Oh, it burned. The carbonation.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a white shirt, so I just felt Coca-Cola up the nose.
Ooh, yeah.
Carbonated, but foaming.
Oh. Alright. Stuff.
Memories.
Memories. Yeah.
The way we were.
I remember going when you were saying you'd go drinking in the woods and your pit parties and everything, and what we used to do, my 2 or 3 best friends, my early group of friends or whatever, we would go out in the woods and we would blow off fireworks. So here I am making fun,
Here you are lecturing me about fire safety in the woods.
I know, but I was going to tell you my story so that I'm just feeding you, so you can make fun of me. Exactly.
And I did that.
It worked perfectly. So there you go.
I fell into your trap.
Nice job. You took the bait. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what we would do. We would go in the woods and we'd put little firecrackers in the stomachs of GI Joes. The GI Joes would have just to see what would happen, and obviously, it'd blow up into pieces, and that'd be it.
At least it wasn't frogs or anything.
So. Oh no, nothing. Never did anything like that. No.
You're like, I'm not a sociopath.
No, nothing like that. Yeah, and that was only a couple times we'd do that, but and then we got grew out of that phase.
Mm.
Yeah, I've noticed that still now. We're recording this on January 8th. There's still fireworks going off. And bangs and explosions.
All the time. I want to say the past year.
What the frick?
I want to say it's the past year or 2.
Yeah, but I mean, last night, for example, it was probably 2:30 in the morning, and I had woken up and was just kind of tossing and turning. I was hearing bangs and booms in the distance.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
The cat woke me up. They were
Darn
howling.
cat.
Oh my gosh. Our cat, we have 3 cats. One of our cats, she's older, they're all old, but she howls. And the way she howls, it sounds like a baby. It could be like a baby or a small child, like crying out. And there have been times where I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's the cat. But then I think, maybe it's not the cat. Is it one of the kids? And I get up and it's the cat. So last night, I woke up at one point and it was a very weird howl. It wasn't the normal one. It was like, I can't explain it. It was like stronger, more powerful.
It's tough to mimic the howl, but it doesn't sound like a cat.
No. Well,
It
Alex
sounds-
one day was like, could it be a Fisher cat? I was like, no, it's inside the house.
Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking about it, I'm like, because those make some pretty...
Like baby, like cries.
Yeah, they make those kind of noises. And I know that, like, in our area, we have, some woods and stuff by the cemetery and things. So, you'll see foxes. We've seen deer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sorry.
I've been seeing people talking about there being Fisher cats around our neighborhood and being spotted recently. So I'm like, I wonder if it's a Fisher cat going in our yard or something, and just maybe even coming up onto the porch or something.
But no, this is like in our house. Like I can hear. So last night, so I fall back asleep. She stops, and then she starts it again. And it's like more of the normal howl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I was like a ninja last night. I got out of bed so quietly because I'm super like clumsy. I'm always like trying to be quiet. I make super loud noises, bumping into things. I had just like got out of bed and going down the stairs, not making a noise, and she's howling as I'm in the stairs because usually by the time I get to the stairs, she stops. So she's still going, and our stairs kind of turn like around. So I'm at the top, and then I take the turn to see the floor, and right as I turn, she must have heard me and stopped. But she's right there just at the stairs looking at me like, I'm like, oh my God, seriously. So I personally think because she's old, I think she has kitty dementia, but I don't know. That's why I picked her up and I brought her upstairs, and then she was quiet the rest of the
kitty
night.
dementia. So
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Yeah, animals get dementia.
But why is it that just at night the howling happens?
I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
happen during the day.
She's lonely.
She's lonely.
She's lonely.
You think that's what it is? She just howls
Maybe.
uncontrollably,
Because she's lonely.
just in the middle of the night.
I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not a cat or a cat expert, and yeah. So
Well, she always
anyway.
she always cuddles with us. She always sleeps with us.
Yeah, all the
And
time.
then we had to put a gate up years ago because I am so allergic to the cats. I need an inhaler because I have breathing issues.
It's every time you say that, and anytime you talk about that around somebody new, like a new friend or somebody, whatever, if this comes up in conversation, they always go, "So why do you have cats?" And I always go, "Yeah, good question." Like what? You know what I mean?
I worked in veterinary medicine for a very long time, allergic to cats. I mean, there were days where we had these 2 guys come in, and they had their super like expensive. I want to say they paid $2,300 for this hypoallergenic cat.
What's
So
a hypoallergenic?
apparently, it's a cat that if you're allergic to cats, you won't be allergic to. So I'm like, so there was something wrong with the cat. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take him out back, and we'll start our exam. So I'm taking the cat out back, and I'm helping hold the cat, and the doctor's looking, and I must have got fur or something in my eye because all of a sudden my eye is like swelling, and it's like itching and burning, and the next thing I know, my eye is swollen shut. And I'm all itchy, and I'm just thinking about it getting itchy, but I was all itchy and I felt gross. So,
Hypoallergenic.
so we go out, I go back out, and like, my eyes, I'm like, I felt like Quasimodo, I'm all like gross, and my eyes like swollen and puffed out. And
Hypoallergenic, my hiney.
yeah. So the guy's like, oh my God, what happened to your eye? And I'm like, I'm allergic to your cat. He's like, but the cat is so people won't be allergic to it. I was like, I'm very allergic to cats, but yeah, some more than others, and I'm pretty allergic to your cat. So it happens, but I love animals so much I don't care.
Now, have you? I've always had cats growing up, but we weren't allowed to have a dog or anything, so I always grew up with cats. I want to say we got ours. My first cat, I must have been like 5 or 6, and that's it. Like we've only had, like my family, we've only had cats. Like my brother, my sister, we've never had a dog. It's always been cats. And now you mentioned we have 3, and they were all mine, I guess you could say. But I inherited my brother's cat and my sister's cat. I'm losing my voice here. Goodness.
Take a sip of water. So you inherited your brother and sister's cat. So
Yes.
basically, you had 1 cat, and now you have 3. So when we first met,
Yes.
you had 3 cats, and now there are cats.
Right. Yes. So that's why we have them. And
But I think it's really easy for people to say, well, just get rid of them. But when they're your pets, they're your family, and you can't just get rid of them.
yeah, and my cat, I'm putting in the quotes here.
The loud one.
Yes, I got her from my late best friend. So she's got kind of a special. She's a special cat.
She does me.
Yeah, other
Well, they
than
all
just
do.
the fact that she's awesome and she's my cat.
Yeah.
The fact that I got her from my buddy who's no longer with us. She's got she's very special, and I still look at her and I'm like, there's no way that you're 17. No, she'd be 18 years old this year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
she's almost 18.
she's like, she looks the same. She doesn't look old.
She does look old.
No, not really.
She looks old.
She looks old when she tries to run.
Sometimes in her face, I can see it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't see
I
it.
can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
But anyway.
But yeah, you can't
Cats.
just get rid of your pets.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, most of my friends have dogs, and so that I do too. See, I really like dogs a lot. I like dogs. I like animals.
I love animals.
But yeah, we just never had them growing up. So you guys now, did you have cats and dogs?
We had cats and dogs. So we had dogs. We had a Basset Hound Shortcake who got hit by a car.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then we got another Basset Hound Augie who liked to bite me. So they had
Fun.
to. Yeah. We didn't have him very long.
That's too bad.
He had an attitude problem.
Eesh.
So he went back to the breeder. I remember my dad got me a cat, Prancer, and I didn't really want a cat, but he did. So I got a cat for my birthday. Thanks, Dad.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll pet it and you can clean the litter box. But yeah, builds character.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. But no, then we've had Great Danes. We had a Great Dane.
You had a Great Dane?
Yes.
Really?
Oh my gosh, she was awesome.
Wow.
I love big dogs. And then we had the Belgian Malinois.
Rosa. Remember Rosa?
Yes, Rosa and
was
Frisco.
awesome. Oh, Frisco I wasn't around anymore when I started coming around. And
He was awesome.
yeah, I mean, I heard all the stories.
He used to bite me a lot.
Rosa was cool. I liked Rosa.
Well, he nipped me. He didn't bite me. He nipped me. Like I'd have at dinner, go into the table, and he'd want it, and he'd stand in my way. I'm like, move, and nip at me.
So, what's the difference between being bit and nipped?
A nip is kind of like a warning. If that dog bit me, I'd probably be getting my flesh ripped out.
But I mean, like the nip, it wasn't like just lips.
No, it's teeth.
He get you with
He
teeth.
breaks the skin.
Oh wow!
But it was more of like a how can I explain? Like just a little bit. He didn't actually like.
Like he knew he wasn't fully biting you. He's like,
Yeah.
hey,
This is a.
hey,
Don't fuck with me, bitch.
hey, lady.
I'll fuck you up.
Wow.
Know your place. So like he didn't like bite into me. He
Right,
just kind
so
of.
it wasn't like latching on or anything.
No.
Well, that's good.
He actually he got me like right by my eye, like between my nose and my eye one day, because my dad wasn't home. It was just my brother and I.
Jeez.
And I'm sitting on the couch, and Frisco jumps on my lap, and I'm petting him, scratching him. And I'm like, okay, buddy, get up. Because I wanted to get up, make something to eat.
Yeah.
And he's like, ah. I'm like, Frisco, get up, get off me. Looking at me like, yeah, right. So I'm like, okay, gonna be firm. Get up. And I go to get up, and he turns his neck around and nipped me got me like right here. So he put me in my place.
Yeah, there you have it. So now you showed you who was boss.
Yes. And I wasn't it. But yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you know what that just reminded me of? Do you remember the urban legend about the woman who put her dog in the microwave?
No, I've never heard this one.
So I remember growing up, there was an urban legend about this old woman, and she had a little dog, and she bathed it, and she wanted to dry it. And she put the dog in the microwave. And I remember
Are you serious?
Yes. Now, it's an urban legend. So, is it true? Probably not. I would hope not. But I just remember when I heard that, I was so upset that somebody would actually do that to an animal and put them through that. The thought of it, whether it was true or not, made me so upset.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. No, that's news to me. I've never heard that. I mean, there's so many different urban legends. Do you remember, and I remember seeing this in the newspaper. So I guess, I don't know if it's an urban legend or not, but when they were finding, was it Tylenol or some kind of aspirin they were finding?
Oh, wasn't that there was poison, it was killing people.
Yeah.
So wasn't that
was
actually
legit, right?
wasn't that actually because a guy was trying to kill his wife, and so what had happened was he injected in, like, you know, the little foil packs?
Yeah.
Like, he injected in like the Sudafed or something. He injected some kind of like arsenic or something into her medication, so when she went to go take it, it would kill her.
So it wasn't.
But he bought a few packs, and what he did is he put them back on the shelf. So he bought regular Sudafed or whatever the medication was.
Okay.
But then he injected other ones, and then went back to the store and put it back on the shelf, so other people would die. So when they figured that it was like somebody doing this and she was just a victim of that, instead of being like, your wife died of arsenic, how did that happen?
But did they find the guy that obviously must have?
I believe so.
Really? So that's okay. So that's what the story was. Because
I believe so. That's what I remember.
You could be right. We could be thinking of two totally different stories. I just remember growing up, because I had to be 8 or 9 years old, reading the newspaper at my dad's restaurant, and I remember reading that and being like,
I thought that was later, so maybe there were more other.
That's why I'm saying maybe we're thinking of different things. But I just remember that, and I guess that's not really an urban legend then, because it's kind of. That's something that happened.
It was like a news story. No.
What about the razor blades and Halloween candy?
Yeah, so I remember growing up, we always checked candy.
Right.
And one of the things was razor blades, or there would just be something in the candy. Even as I got older, I remember like people would mix up candy with drugs. Like, why you would waste drugs on kids? I don't know.
So, what, people would open the wrapper and...
Like, as I got older, it was something like, I don't know what kind of drugs was it, LSD, the kind that looked like candy, and they were passing that out.
I'm not a big drug... I was never a big drug person, so I'm not really sure.
It's the drugs that look like candy, and that was getting passed out to kids. As I got older, I heard about that. But yeah, when I was a kid, it was like razor blades in the candy, so we always had to check it. But the other thing was also checking to make sure the wrappers were sealed, because you don't want to get candy from an open wrapper. Because, I mean, granted, we went trick-or-treating, we knew all the neighbors.
Sure.
But you don't want anything open because you don't know if somebody could have done something to it. Not to mention, how long has it been open? What has it been exposed to? You don't want to get sick. So we always checked our wrappers.
I mean, we had some Halloween candy. You know, the big bags for trick-or-treaters this year. We had zero trick-or-treaters showed up. None.
So sad.
But I remember just going through, giving some of the kids some candy, and there was a couple of that were open.
Yeah.
Like in the, the bag of like 100 little,
I'm sure it happens.
Individual scent candies or whatever.
Or something.
Sure. So I mean, it happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the razor blade thing though, was that ever something that legitimately happened, or was that an urban legend and then just everybody started checking their Halloween candy?
I don't know. I'll have to ask my dad.
Yeah, because that's the one. I would consider that to be an urban legend, because I personally don't know if that was ever proven to be, legitimate thing.
I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking about urban legends.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different.
There's so many different urban legends.
Holy cow!
Okay, so do you remember the one? There's so many babysitter urban legends, but there's one about this couple, they have their kids, and they get a babysitter
Okay.
to watch the kids while they go out to dinner. So the mom calls during dinner the babysitter just to check on the kids, and the babysitter's like, yeah, you know, I put the kids to bed, they're fine. And she's like, oh, okay, good. And the girl's like, are you okay if I watch a movie in your bedroom? And the mom's like, yeah, that's fine. Then the babysitter asks, is it okay if I put a blanket over that creepy clown figurine, the creepy clown statue or whatever it was? It was some kind of creepy clown. Or take it out of the room because it just really creeps me out. And then the mom pauses and she says, get out of the house. Get the kids and get out of the house now. We don't have a clown in our bedroom.
What?
Yeah, you never heard that one?
What? No, I never heard that. As my microphone died. What the fuck?
Uh-oh. Mine's going, so I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
okay,
but then, so,
I need some crow.
yeah, and that one was
What?
kind of creepy. That's obviously like, okay, well, somebody's in the house, and,
What?
yeah.
Okay.
But
No,
it's even-
I'd never heard that one.
An even older one about a babysitter, which is great, you know, because a lot of girls who were babysitting at like 12, 13 years old, that's always good to hear.
Jeez.
But now there's one I want to talk about and point out all the loopholes about it, if you don't mind.
A babysitter one?
Yeah,
Okay.
an urban legend, babysitter, urban legend.
Okay.
There's a babysitter who's watching the kids, and she gets a call, and it's some creepy guy, and he's like, how are the kids? You should check on the kids. And she's like, the kid, like, who is this? And it was really creepy, so she'd hang up. And she kept getting these phone calls asking, like, you should check on the kids. And so she ends up calling the police because she's really freaked out.
All right.
And now I'm going off of memory from when I was like 9. So she's really freaked out and she calls the police. So the police say, okay, we're going to trace, you know, see where the numbers are calling from so we can find out who this person is. So the police keep her on the phone and they say, the call is coming from inside the house.
Wait, this was a movie, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, they made a
Did
movie
they?
of this.
So-
this sounds like the plot of a movie that I saw. It was like a horrible movie. God,
Oh,
I
I'm
can't
sure.
remember.
But okay, so here's the whole issue. I remember I was like,
What was it called?
how are you getting a call from inside the house? Like, are there multiple phone lines? There would have to be multiple phone lines.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 phone lines when I was growing up.
But how
In the
many
house.
people back in the 80s had multiple phone lines? Because if you,
I did.
okay, your mom had a business.
Yeah, but so what? They were still. I mean,
So all your friends had 2 phone numbers?
no, not all my friends did, but I had a couple friends that had like a separate phone or whatever. It actually was kind of started to become pretty common when I was in junior high school.
But I'm talking about like in the 80s when I heard this. Oh, were you in junior high in the 80s?
Yeah, I
Oh.
was like 89. I think I went to junior
Oh,
high.
okay. 'Cause
I think. I'm older than you. Remember, I'm an old man. We've gone over this. I'm old.
I forgot.
I'm aging.
Like a fine wine.
That's right.
Yes. The other thing was the cops were going to trace the phone number. Like back then, it was just like, okay, and to do it so quickly, it was just kind of weird. So there were some loopholes that I thought, I don't know about that.
I wonder.
Is your mic unhappy? Is it
I'm gonna
disgruntled?
throw this thing out across the.
No,
This is terrible.
refrain. But yeah, there's just different things that. Is it working? Oh.
Just,
Yeah, I found a loophole with that, and I did not. I don't know. I kind of call bullshit on it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds. I'm telling you, it was a movie. What the hell was it called? Because I watched this movie when it came out. It was. I want to say recent, but it's not really. It's more than 10 years old. But what the hell? It was like When a Stranger Calls or A Stranger's in the House
okay.
or something like that. And that was the plot of the movie. This girl's getting phone calls, and it's that kind of thing. Like the person calling is saying, eventually tells her I'm in the house or something like that. And I think she maybe even called the police.
Mm.
And they're like, oh, the calls are coming from in the house. It was like the exact same thing you just said. So it's if this is like an urban legend that you heard growing up or whatever,
Mhm.
it must have, taken on a life of its own, and somebody turned it into a screenplay for one of the worst movies I ever saw. Now I have to find out what the hell it's called.
You find that.
I'm going to try to find it because I just want to make sure that nobody ever wastes their time watching it if they have.
So we're not going to do a Homewrecker movie review on that then?
We probably should because it was really that bad.
So you want to make me watch that?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I love you too much, so maybe
Thank you.
What the heck was that called?
Try to think of other urban legends.
Yes. When a Stranger Calls.
Who is in it?
It came out in 2006. That's what it was. It was awful. Let's see. Camilla Bell, Tommy Flanagan, Katie Cassidy, Tessa Thompson.
Well, Katie Cassidy.
David Denman.
Was an Arrow.
David Denman from The Office. Roy.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it was a remake. There was another... A psychopathic killer terrorized a babysitter, then returned 7 years later to menace her again.
Interesting.
It came out in 1979.
So maybe that's where it kind of came from.
Maybe, yeah, I was going to say, maybe you have... I wonder if that's maybe where the urban legend that you heard started from.
Where people got it from, maybe.
And then in 2006, it looks like they remade the movie for, more current time. Yeah, but the 2006 movie sucked. It was so bad. So bad. I remember watching it just feel like, this is the worst movie
You're
I've ever
that traumatized by it.
Oh, God. Terrible. Anyway, urban legends. It makes you wonder, like, how do these stories start? Like, can you think of any other ones? I mean, there's...
Oh my God, there's so many. Alligators in the
sewers.
Yes. Which is actually true. Like, New York City had, like, they were small. It's not like they were, like, giant mutant ones.
See, I heard
they were, like,
feet. Oh, see, when I heard that story when I was growing up, it was, you always want to stay away from the sewers because of alligators and because of all the sewage and all. The story I always heard was they dumped chemicals in the sewers and everything else, so all the toxic waste, all the sewage and everything else, and the alligators swim through it, so they mutate, they get really big, they get up to 20 feet long. That's what I always heard. That was the story I always got when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And that's what I always believed.
But
they were 20
the alligators that were dumped in there were like 2 feet. They were little.
Got it. And they were found, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny how these stories just kind of take on a life of their own.
I think sometimes there's a little bit of truth to something, but...
It's kind of like that game Telephone.
Yeah.
By the time it gets to you, it's gone through how many other different people who've added their own 2 cents and changed facts here and there, embellished some here, left out a part here, added their own part here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
there's one I just remembered. So this one is about a girl, and she's driving home from a friend's house or something. And she notices a truck, and he starts, like, flashing his high beams at her, and he's getting, like, really close to her. And she's like, what the hell? She's kind of freaking out. So she takes, like, a sharp left turn, and he follows her and takes a sharp left turn.
You left a part out, though.
What?
Didn't she stop and get gas first?
Oh, was that it? Because, again, I'm going off my childhood memories.
If I'm thinking of the story
so maybe she stopped to get gas. So she's driving, this guy is behind her. So I apologize if I'm butchering this. I'm going off of my memory from childhood.
If we're thinking of this, we might be thinking of a different story, so I apologize.
So
I'm not going to talk anymore.
She's like, I'm just going to go home. And so the guy's, like, flashing his high beams. He's, like, right on her ass. He's honking at her. So she gets out of the car and starts running to the house. And the guy gets out of the car, and she's thinking, this guy is chasing me. He's going to kill me. He tells her, stop. He goes, there's someone in the back seat of your car. And he said, I was flashing my high beams because he kept jumping up. He looked like he was going to stab you. And so he ducked back down, and they checked, and there was a guy with a knife in the back seat hiding on the floor of the car.
Yeah, that story I did hear. That sounds like it was a movie plot too.
Probably.
But I heard it that they were she stopped to get gas.
That could be it.
And the trucker saw somebody get into the back of her car.
Okay.
And that's why he was following her, because he saw someone get, like, as he's in his truck driving, he sees somebody get into the back and, like, duck down. And then he saw her come out of the gas station and get into the car and drive off. And he was like, oh, shit, I better follow her. See, that's how I heard the story.
I heard these when I was a kid. So I am like...
Yeah, I heard.
So I apologize if I'm not getting the details.
Yeah, how dare you butcher these urban legends, damn it.
What about celebrity urban legends?
Oh, a celebrity urban legend. Well, do you remember the rumor? And this would have been in 91, 92-ish, late 91, early 92. The Ultimate Warrior died and was replaced by
Yeah, didn't we talk about that?
Did we talk about that on the
I
show?
thought so because yeah.
Yeah, we may have mentioned it, but yes, that was an urban legend because he left in 91 because he reportedly held up Vince McMahon for more money or something. So he left, got fired, whatever. And then he was gone for like 7 or 8 months, and then he came back at WrestleMania 8. But his hair had been cut, and he was like, no joke, 50 or 60 pounds lighter. Still in good shape, but just a lot smaller. And so everybody's like, the Ultimate Warrior died, they replaced him with somebody else. Because if you looked at him, you're like, that ain't the same guy, there's no way. But obviously it was an urban legend. It went on for a while. Because I remember looking at magazines and just being like, that's not the same guy. There's no way it's the same guy. Then you'd sit and you'd study his face. I remember, bringing the magazines to school, and a couple of my friends and I'd get around and we'd talk about, is this him? Is that really him? Let me look at the face here, and then look at
the nose.
Look here. Look, I mean, it's still him. He just cut his hair, and then people are like, no, that's not him because look here. And we dissect pictures of the Ultimate Warrior and try and either prove that it was not him or debunk the legend that he died.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you remember the Marilyn Manson urban legend
There's
rumors?
so many.
There's like a couple. So there's one where I can't remember which came out first, but there was one that it kind of changes. He had a rib removed, and then some say he had multiple ribs removed, so he could orally pleasure himself.
So ridiculous. Right. Yes. I actually read his book. I want to say it's his first book. I don't know if he's got more than one or not, but whatever book he put out in the late 90s, I want to say. Whenever he was, really hitting his stride, becoming popular, he wrote a book. And I read it, and I was reading it because I wanted to see if he would talk about that. Like, that was one of the things I was like, I wonder if he's going to mention removing his ribs. And I think he may, if I remember correctly, he may have mentioned it. But it was bullshit. It was obviously just rumors and just shit.
Like, part of me would think, he probably started that rumor.
He may have. Yeah. He very well may have. Who knows?
But then there was also another rumor that he was Paul from the Wonder Years.
Yes, that one was awesome. I love that one because he kind of
This is before IMDb.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of looked similar. If you look at me, you go, wait a minute, he does look like if Paul grew his hair out, maybe that is him. And it has been, almost 10 years since the Wonder Years, and it could very well, So you'd have those.
Yeah.
Could it be? Yeah, I guess it could be. You could really do mental gymnastics and make it work if you had to. It was that good, but no, it's not the same guy. But
that's okay.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, I know it was. And I was like, just linking back to that, it's just funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting how a lot of these stories kind of take shape. Do you remember? What was it? Oh, geez, I can't. Was it? I want to say it was Rod Stewart. I think I was in 6th grade when I heard this story because it was right around the time that song "Forever Young" was getting played everywhere.
So that was in the 90s.
Was it?
80s and no.
It was like late 80s,
late
like
80s.
88 maybe, 87, 88,
okay.
Around that time. Because I remember I was in 6th grade.
I remember the song.
I remember being in 6th grade, so whatever year that was. And I remember being on the playground and somebody coming up and me, did you hear about Rod Stewart? And it was one of those, you always had those kids that was, hey, did you hear about whatever? And everyone's like, what? And did you hear about Rod Stewart? No, what happened to Rod Stewart? I'm thinking, he Did he die?
That's like the reaction.
What-
Hey, did you
what-
hear about so-and-so? The first thought is, did they die?
Right, of course.
No, are they
That's-
dead?
Obviously, even as a kid, that your mind goes right to the
Right
worst
there.
possible thing, right? And it's like, no, yeah, he got rushed to the hospital, and we're like, oh, well, what happened? Is he all right? Yeah, he had to get his stomach pumped. Oh, okay. Yeah, they pumped out like 6 pints of cum, and we're all just like, what? That's gross. What? Did you ever hear that story? I don't think it's true. I never bothered to look into it.
I kind of heard it, but I never, it's not like firsthand directly heard it, but...
The implication being that Rod Stewart
I feel like
sucks a lot of
6
male...
pints of anything is a lot.
Right.
I'm like imagining like a pint of ice cream. And then filling up 6 of those.
Jeez, I'm crook.
It's
Sorry.
a lot.
So unprofessional laughing into the mic like that. I apologize.
I'm a visual person. I need to like visualize these things, and I'm just thinking 6 pints of ice cream, like an ice cream container, filled with anything is a lot for one person.
Right. Well, I guess that's why he was rushed to the hospital. But obviously, I don't think this was a true thing. It was just some schoolyard thing. But I'd heard it over the years. Like, that was the first time I heard it. But I heard it again, throughout my life. I heard that urban legend, that story about Rod Stewart. And, I can't remember.
You couldn't just throw it out?
I can't. I don't remember who it was that gave me like the punchline to it, but somebody sent it to me again like later on in life, and they were like, "Yeah, because he sucks so much dick, get it?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, all right."
Good for him.
And then saying, "Yeah, he married that model chick because he was really a closet gay, but he's married her just as a cover or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Whatever.
Who the fuck cares?
Back when,
back when that used to, people cared about that.
Yeah, it's funny we say back when people used to care about that, but even growing up for me, I don't think anybody really cared. It wasn't really cared.
It's nobody's business.
Nobody really cared that much. And I grew up in the generation where our generation coming up, I don't even know what we're called. Generation Y?
Gen X?
Gen X? I don't even know what I am. But we were just kind of like, whatever, like, who gives a shit about any of that stuff? Like, we don't care. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the Rod Stewart one.
So that just reminded me, do you remember the Jamie Lee Curtis?
The Halloween. The
Yeah.
actress. The actress,
I
right?
love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a
There's
kid.
an urban legend about her?
Yeah, she's a hermaphrodite.
What?
And, yeah. So...
Come on.
Yes.
Like, what?
And this is how I learned what a hermaphrodite is.
What?
I did
Doesn't
not
she
know.
have kids?
Adopted, I think.
Oh, so that adds to the legend. Ooh.
Again, who the hell cares?
No, I know.
And she's hot, so
Obviously.
whatever. It's she's Jamie Lee Curtis. Who cares? She's awesome.
Who cares regardless? Like,
I know.
but
Jamie
just...
Lee Curtis is awesome. I like her.
Okay.
But no, and I was just I remember hearing that, and I'm like, what's that? When somebody has boy parts and girl parts. And I'm like, cool. What the hell are you going to say to that?
Yeah, like what? Oh, okay.
Good for them.
If you think about it, Hollywood is essentially, it's like wrestling. It's fake. Everything about it is fake. So it wouldn't shock me because, but again, who, really cares, right? Does it matter if so-and-so is a boy, girl,
No.
or both?
No.
I don't know. I just...
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Richard Gere.
Is this the one with the...
The gerbil.
Yes.
Gerbil.
I've heard that story. Was that true? Do we know?
I don't think it's true.
Should we be looking this up? Just so
But okay, I have to talk about the story because an officer friend of mine, I forget how this came up, but
oh boy.
I forget what she said, but then I was like, oh, like Richard, like I said something about like, oh, Richard Gere and the gerbil, and she goes, yeah, people actually do that. I'm like, what? And she said that people will do that. Usually they're on some kind of substance, but they'll put a gerbil up their butt, and then what happens is the gerbil can't breathe, it can't eat, it can't drink, it's stuck up in there and it dies. And I was like, that is so cruel. And anyone who would ever harm an animal, especially in that manner, it's just disgusting. That person has problems. Are you looking this up?
I have got something right. Yeah,
What?
I've looked it up.
What?
No, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I was just saying it's awful, and I just can't fathom somebody doing that to a poor animal, and how that might feel good in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, so I've pulled up this. What is this? Mel, MEL culture. Mel culture. I don't know the website address. So I just did something quick.
Mel Magazine.
Melmagazine.com. There it is. Thank you. A highly questionable cultural history of Richard Gere's ass gerbil is the title of this article. It's fantastic.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
This is journalism.
This is fascinating podcasting here that we're doing here.
What?
Prince getting his ribs removed to suck his own dick eventually became a rumor about Marilyn Manson instead. So Prince is the one who originally that rumor started. I'd never heard the Prince one. See, I only heard the Marilyn Manson one. Amazing.
Breaking news here
Look
on the
at
Homewrecker
that.
podcast.
Look at that. So look at that.
Learn something new every
Look
day.
at that. So the story goes like, oh, hold on. Jumping all around here, I apologize. Okay. This story goes like this. Richard Gere once got a gerbil stuck up his ass and then had to go to the ER to get it removed. And that's it. End of story.
Yeah.
Yet this single-sentence narrative has somehow endured the test of time for decades, like some ancient folklore passed down from generation to generation. Why has this story been so durable? Where did it come from? Why the fuck is a gerbil always the rodent of choice? Most importantly, is it true? First off,
I need more wine.
Oh boy. First off, let's establish whether gerbling, as it's apparently called, is even a real thing. Certainly the Wikipedia article for gerbling, which contains perhaps the greatest wiki image caption pairing of all time, it's got a link, I'm not going to click it right now, regards the act as merely a rumored sexual practice. Being a respectable journalist, though, and unwilling to take Wikipedia at face value, I also reached out to literally dozens of gerbil breeders for this piece. One of the very few who replied to me told me, there is no sexual act of gerbling. This is an old urban legend. All right. So that appears to be...
Unless people got that urban legend and then thought that they were going to try it. Because apparently she had come across people who had done that personally. They were on a shitload of drugs.
Okay. So I'm not going to read... This is a long article. Holy cow. All right. So the way that Gere reportedly got the gerbil up there was with a toilet paper tube.
Yeah.
But according to this article, a toilet paper tube is too flimsy.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be flimsy?
I don't know.
Maybe like some PVC pipe.
Sure. That's great.
Ow.
So I guess this can't be true. It's obviously just a story that started, but it makes you wonder, like, how the hell did that urban legend start, and why? Why about him? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Everyone loved him. He was in Pretty Woman, and
yeah, like he was in what was that movie?
now you sound like me.
I know he was in An Officer and a Gentleman. There was a movie, early '80s. That he was in that was on HBO all the time, and it was the first time I saw bare breasts in a movie.
Huh.
What was it called?
Don't know.
Breathless. Breathless, 1983, with Richard Gere. I don't remember what it was about. I remember the first time I saw Richard Gere, I thought he was the coolest guy ever because he was like making out with this really, really beautiful woman who looks like her name was Valerie Kaprisky. And I got to see her boobs, and I was like 8 or 9 years old at the time. And I was like, whoa, boobs. And that guy's cool.
Because he got to see them too.
Yes. And because he was, I don't even remember anything about the movie other than Richard Gere was cool.
Maybe it was somebody who like went for a part in one of his movies that did really well and lost out to him, and he's like, I'm gonna start a rumor.
I'm gonna
about
start a
him.
rumor about this guy.
Yeah.
And here's the rumor. Like, what the frick?
But it makes me think, like, how many people hear stuff about that and think, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's just awful.
The fact, like, oh yeah, this wasn't a thing, but I'm gonna make it a thing now.
That's
I don't know.
terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
On a lot of different levels.
Many scales and frequencies. Yeah. What else?
Oh, geez, now I'm racking my brain trying to think. There's so many.
There's so many urban legends.
I mean, I heard there was always a bunch of different urban legends. Like, they're not. I don't even know. You can't even call it an urban legend. It's like urban legend and rumor. What's the difference between the two?
I feel like an urban legend is a story that just circulates over time, and little facts or not facts, but little bits of it might change, but the core of the story is the same. And it may be the same as rumor, because a lot of the stuff, especially with celebrity, is more rumor, but it becomes this thing where, like you said, the telephone game, and there's more information that gets added to it, and over time, I mean, we're still talking about it today, so.
It's, and I mean, it's something that if you went to a high school age kid now and you said, you ever hear about Richard Gere and the gerbil? They'd probably be like, who the fuck is Richard Gere? They probably wouldn't even know what you're talking about. So it's kind of, I think maybe those, like the celebrity ones anyway, if they do, like for example, the Prince and the Marilyn Manson, which I didn't even know that was a Prince thing until just now, the story, the core story stays the same, but the principal characters and the players that it's about change with the times and kind of evolve with the times, right? But the gerbil one, I don't think anybody would even know who you're talking about, if you're going to a younger kid nowadays.
I'm going to make you laugh, probably, because you're talking about the rib thing again. I'm just thinking, but aren't your ribs there to protect your organs?
Yes, I think that's their function.
Yeah, so why did you remove that?
And would you be able to actually? You could survive with missing a rib, right? Couldn't you?
Yeah, but I just think their function isn't it to protect your organs inside?
I believe I'm not an anatomy major, but I'm pretty sure that that's what. Yeah,
and isn't it if you're really flexible, you can do that stuff anyway?
I've heard
so
urban legends and rumors or whatever about somebody in the wrestling business who could do that.
Really?
Yes.
Super,
legitimately could do it and actually
wrestling?
And actually would do it and show the boys that he could do it to prove that he did.
Famous professional wrestler or local?
You would know him.
I would know him.
Any wrestling fan would probably know who it was. Yes.
Well, you reminded me, Gene Simmons. Wasn't there something about him, because he has a long tongue?
Yeah.
And that he had a cow tongue grafted on to make it longer.
I never heard that, but that wouldn't shock me if that was a rumor.
Obviously,
or whatever. Obviously, it's BS. Come on. Jeez. There was a kid that I went to school with who had a Gene Simmons super long tongue. He would always stick it out and show people, and do that whole deal. But whatever.
Well, I can't do that because what I found out that it must run in the family or something is tongue tie. So it's that little bit that connects your tongue to the inside of your mouth. Yeah. It's connected too much, so it prevents you from moving your tongue too far out and moving it certain ways.
Okay.
So for my boys, they had to cut it because they can't properly when you're nursing them, they couldn't properly latch on. They couldn't get their tongue in the right position, so it made it hard for them to eat. But so I realized once they did that, they could stick their tongue out further. So if somebody has tongue tie, then they can't stick their tongue out very far compared to somebody who does not. And then there's probably something where it's even more allows it to come out as much.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, our middle child, I can't even describe it, but he'll sit there sometimes. He's just goofing around, and he'll stick his tongue out, and he like twists
I
it.
can kind of do that.
I can't do that. I'm looking at him, I'm like, how the hell are you doing that? Like, what are you doing?
Like this?
Yeah, but his like goes even more. Like it's almost like he can, like you're wringing a towel out. Like it twists it that much. It's obviously that's not what he's doing, but that's what it looks
I
like.
can do it with my teeth.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I can't even do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, fascinating podcasting stuff right now.
Yes, I know. I'm like, look what I can do. I've had some wine.
My God.
My goodness, our poor listeners.
Yeah, no, I never. Yeah, that's.
It just shows like some of the ridiculousness.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I never heard the cow tongue.
I feel like the
thing.
celebrity ones are ridiculous, but then like the other ones, some are ridiculous and some are almost like a tale of caution.
Yeah, like the babysitter ones, of course. Those feel like. Well, I don't know because
Check the house.
Yeah,
do
check
like a
the
home
house.
inspection.
Check your back seat before you drive away.
I do
what's
that anyway.
What's the moral of that story? You know?
I always do that in case zombies got in my car.
Of course, the zombies. Of course. Yes. I don't know. Like, what would be the moral behind those babysitter type stories? Just
don't be a babysitter.
Don't be a babysitter. Like what? You know what I mean? Like what? And isn't it funny how you think about pop culture in Hollywood? How many movies, like especially horror movies, always horror movies, where the babysitter's home alone, and it's always
One babysitter.
always
most
that
babysitters
scenario for whatever reason.
How many
There has to be some
babysitters
reason
started
why
when they
they
were
do
like
that.
12 and 13 years old, and
Sure.
to put them in that kind of position? Come on.
Yeah, but it's funny because I never thought of it until just now. But how many movies or whatever scenarios you have with a babysitter, and it's always that. It's like, why is that the preferred angle? I guess that so many of these stories and horror.
I'm just going back thinking of that clown, and I'd be
go
like,
with that angle, the babysitter.
get a gun, shoot the clown.
Right. The clown one. I never heard that clown one though that you said earlier. It's kind of freaky.
I just thought of like a funny twist of
It's
like
obviously
the wife
BS,
said,
but-
"There's someone in the house. There's someone dressed like a clown." The guy's like, "Oh, I thought we could spice things up tonight, and I got like a clown toy for us." And the girl's like calling 911, running out of the house with the kids. My mind goes in weird places sometimes.
Clown outfit to spice it up. Wow.
Well, how they have like blow up dolls, like a clown one or something.
What the hell is wrong with you, woman? Wow.
I have a great imagination.
Yes, that's something.
Oh.
That's yeah. All right. Wow, good stuff. Can you think of any other weird urban legends? It's funny how this conversation went from what the heck did we start even talking about? How did we get on to urban legends?
We were talking about dogs.
Yeah, dogs and cats, and we more
talking about, like,
urban legends.
Childhood memories, drinking,
Yeah,
pets.
I don't even know what we're going to call this episode.
I don't know.
And I'm just looking down. And we've almost got an hour at this point,
Oh.
and that's fine. I'm just surprised at how this evolved into this.
I'm curious to see how this turns out. Like having to
I
go
hope it's
back and
all right.
listen to it.
I hope it's all right. Now I want to think of more urban legends. I'm just trying to remember. Of course, now on the spot, I can't think of any of them. I can't tell you I'll tell you the wrestling one after. I don't want to put that one. Any wrestling fan out there, anybody in the wrestling business probably knows this one. I'm sure. It's very famous. Let's see. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think of any more. Sorry.
Well, why don't we wrap things up? I gotta promote my Etsy shop.
Please do.
Yes. Before I promote my Etsy shop, I
Oh.
wanted to promote. We talked about supporting other people.
Yeah.
So I wanted to promote another New Hampshire Etsy shop owner.
You showed me this earlier. This is actually really cool.
Yeah. So I came across this guy, and he makes really cool, like, miniature Baba Yaga houses, gnome houses, and fairy houses, and figurines. And his work is really good.
Sorry to cut you off. Could you explain what is a Baba Yaga?
So, from what I know it as, it's, I want to say, like, Eastern European folklore. A Baba Yaga is this, like, witch. And from what I heard, she, like, feeds off the children.
Oh.
Yes.
It's very, okay.
Yes, so not like
Sure.
Glinda the Good Witch or anything.
Okay.
But it was cool, and I'm like, because I like saw Baba Yaga, I'm like, Baba Yaga, like what? Because like, you know, I don't see that stuff on Etsy, and I just saw, and I'm like, oh, this guy is from Keene, New Hampshire. The name of his Etsy store is Gluckspilzgifts, and we'll put a link, so if you're interested, you can look at it. But his work.
Did you say Gluckspitz?
I'm sorry,
Gluckspilzgifts.
Sorry, I've had wine.
That's okay. I'm looking. I'm like that.
Because it's Gluckspilzgifts.
Okay.
So he just started a shop this year, and like, I'm gonna be honest. To get his work, it's not cheap, but when you look at the detail,
I'm looking at I'm looking at it again.
It's
now.
like. Because, I mean, I know some of my items are more expensive, but it's because the cost to make everything and the work that goes that's involved, it costs money. So, but it looks very, very high quality. So I looked at these, I'm like, oh my God, I want to get a bunch of them, but I need a place where the children cannot destroy them first.
Yeah, good luck. I'm looking at, you said that it's not cheap, but I'm looking at this stuff.
I look at it and I feel it is reasonably priced for what it is. I was going to say,
if this is all handmade.
It is.
And it's just by this one gentleman here, I think he's underpriced his stuff.
Yeah.
That's just me. Because the amount of detail, I'm just looking here, it's very amazing. And you said these are tiny, right?
They're like small. It's not like a big thing. They're small. But yeah, and they have like fairy houses and gnome houses, and the detail in it is remarkable.
We'll put a link on our
we'll put a link in our show notes because
check it out anyway.
I saw it. First of all, I'm like,
it's really cool.
It's somebody from New Hampshire who has an Etsy shop, and I got excited because again, it's like, oh, somebody kind of like they're local. And then I saw what he was making because I was like, Baba Yaga, fairy? Oh my gosh, this is awesome. So I was like, I wanna just put it out there, and we talk about supporting other people. Granted, he's not like we don't do the same thing, but I think what he does is really cool. It's really nice art and very well crafted. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to support a small business, support this guy. Go check out his shop.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes.
Yes.
Really cool stuff. Baba Yaga, see, I asked you what it is, because I've always heard it. I just never looked into it or heard any stories about it, but I've always heard the name. That's why I asked you, because I was not familiar with what it is.
Yeah.
So,
and now
interesting.
I'm going to promote my Etsy shop.
Yeah, do that.
So we have Valentine's Day coming up, so I'm putting out different Valentine's organite. I use different crystals like rose quartz, morganite, rhodochrosite, so different crystals that are associated with the heart chakra and that are associated with love. So I have some pretty neat stuff. There's a really loud train. I have some pretty neat stuff that's been coming out, so check out my shop. And then I have other items as well. So Wonders by Monique. Yes.
There you go.
There
awesome.
You go.
And
yes.
You also have a website.
Oh,
too,
yes. I have a website, tarotbymonique.com. And I am an ordained minister, so if you want to get married, I will officiate your wedding.
Check that out.
Just go to my website.
Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. And in the new year, or anytime, if you're looking to get in shape, if you're looking to get healthy, alexarionfitness.com. And, I have workout programs and stuff like that on there. You can get workout programs anywhere. Yeah. They're everywhere. There's so many fitness, everything, right? it's not the workout part that's hard. You can look up YouTube channels and stuff like that. You can find out different ways to do workouts and exercise. It's not that part that's hard. I think for most people, it's yes, getting into the routine of working out and exercising is difficult, and kudos to you if you can get into a routine and a groove and do that. But it's what you do for the other 23 hours in your day that I think most people struggle with and most people have a hard time with. And that's something that I feel I'm pretty good at helping people out with. So I offer my services of coaching and things like that there. And yeah, my goal is to help as many people as I can to achieve their fitness and health goals. So if that's you and you need some help, head on over to alexsierrafitness.com.
Yes.
Links in the show notes. And yeah, check out some of the articles I got up there to help you out. And if you want to reach out to me and you want to work together, there's a way to do that on the website as well.
Yes.
So that's that. As far as us, social media, reach out to us. We love hearing from and interacting with you. We actually just recently got a listener request for a show.
Yes.
So we did our watch-along wrestling episode
With Sean Gordon.
Yes,
and Morgan.
And Morgan, right. And somebody liked that so much they requested we do another wrestling watch-along. So I'm going to reach out to Sean and see if he wants to come back on to do that. If he's available, awesome, great. If not, you and I are going to do it.
Yes.
So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So if you have any requests for any shows you want us to do, a watch along, for example, awesome. We're open to that. And also, if you have any suggestions for show topics or anything you want us to get into,
something you want to hear, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll try to accommodate as many requests as we can.
Also, if you want to share a ghost story or something along the lines of paranormal, metaphysical, something that happened to you that you experienced, share us the story and we'll air it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll write us an email or DM us, and we'll read your story on our show.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, you said that. The wine's kicking in for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, tremendous. So yes, reach out to us. You can find us on social media. We have a Twitter.
At Homewrecker Pod. Parlor.
We have that
Homewrecker Pod.
All right. I think that I just heard, actually, as of today, that Google Play has taken Parler out of their App Store, and Apple is also going to be removing it from their App Store as well. Yeah, 1984 is here in 2021, ladies and gentlemen.
But what if you already
Censorship
have the app?
has kicked in. If you already have the app, I think you're safe.
So get it.
So get that if you care, if you whatever. I personally, social media is...
I don't like social media. I don't want to do social media, but if it helps get our show out there...
This is the way, yeah, exactly. That's the way that people communicate now, and the way people find... shows like ours and stuff. So it's great, but we also have a website too.
Homewreckerpodcast.com.
There it is.
Yes.
So there's a number of different ways you can reach out to us, but we encourage you to do so because we do love interacting with everybody. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast and give us a 5-star rating if you don't mind. We really appreciate it. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube.
Hi, watchers.
Hi. Hello. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button there as well. And we leave comments open on our videos.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave a comment.
People comment.
Feel free to do so as well.
Videos and subscribe and comment.
And you can find us on brighteon.com as well.
Yes.
So please check us out on those other platforms if you haven't already. We appreciate all the support there. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. So reach out to us. Tell us what's what. And hell, we talked about urban legends. You got any urban legends you want to share with us or you want us to talk about?
Yes.
Hit us up. Let us know about it, please.
Yes. We love interaction.
Yeah. It's fun. It's
so cool when you think about all the different people. Like, you hear different perspectives and hear from people all over the country and all over the world.
For sure.
It's really cool.
It is. It's very... it still blows my mind that we have people that listen to us
Oh, yeah.
across the pond. Never mind in different states in the U.S., but just
Oh my gosh,
all
like
over the world, the different where we
Spain.
see, all the different downloads is definitely
the different
all
countries.
The different countries
It's
around the world.
awesome.
It's really neat. The internet's a great thing
When it wants to be.
When it wants to be, yeah, exactly. So until next time.
Oh, I just want to throw out and remember, just be kind to each other. With everything going on, just remember, it's easy to be a jerk, it's easy to gloat, but just be kind to each other. Just want to throw that out there and remind people. I know our hearers and watchers know this, but maybe they can spread that to other people too.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we all want the same thing. I think deep down we all want the same thing. We all just want to get along. I think, at least that's how I feel. So hopefully we can all do that someday. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yes. But until next time.
I'm so becoming a hippie.
You are such a hippie now. What happened?
I've always been like this.
No,
But yeah, I should.
Not that there's anything wrong with being a hippie. Is there? No, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's okay.
Well, when I was growing up, the hippies I just smelled really bad. So.
What do you mean by smelled really bad?
Oh my god, they smelled awful. Like a mixture of not bathing.
All right.
And then really bad, like, perfume or I don't know what.
Okay.
But it was gross. And that's why I'd be like, I'm not a dirty hippie.
Okay.
Yes. No offense to dirty hippies out there.
Hey, I had some hippie friends when I was growing up. I had some jock friends. I had...
Well, the funny thing is, I'm probably more of a hippie than anybody when you take, like, how I look at life and everything.
You really are.
Like, no.
You really are, actually. That's probably a very accurate description for you. It's kind of funny. Ironic a little bit. But
Ironic.
Yeah, but, well, anyway.
I become the thing I despise the most.
Okay, then. So, yes, again, we wish everybody a happy, healthy New Year.
And we love you.
And we appreciate everybody's support. So until next time, I am the Golden Greek.
The Grumpy Greek.
The Grumpy Greek.
No.
The Moody Greek. What else can I be?
You're the Gifted Greek.
Gifted.
Yeah.
Gifted Greek.
Yeah,
all right.
Like you're gifted.
Sure. I'll take that one too. Why not? Another GG. There you go.
I've had some wine. Not sharp.
I am the Golden Greek Alexiarion. I've been joined as always by my beautiful, lovely, gorgeous, amazing trophy wife, the lovely Monique.
And you've been listening to the Homewrecker podcast.
Dirty hippie.
Not a dirty hippie.
You said it, not me. That was your
shower.
words. Those were your words.
I know, but I shower. I guess I'm a clean hippie.
Clean hippie.
Yes. I shower and shave.
All right.
And there
Tremendous.
it is.
There you have it. I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to write it at the end here.
Tremendous.